What do you want from me, girl? Girl. What do you want from me? Angie, would you like to make an appearance? Hi everyone, come here, Angie. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. Come here. Come here. You can come. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. So guys, this is my mom's dog. She's a big old rice sack. I call her a big old rice sack. And she has purple ears and a purple tail. She wanted to come say hi. I know what you're really looking for, a treat. But I can't give it to you right now. Okay? All right? You look like a big old rice sack. Okay, all right, come on. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. My name is Engdu. Okay, okay. I'll see you later, girl, okay? All right, happy Tuesday. Let me pull up my comments really quick because, guys, this is going to be, hey, Brenda Lee. I'm really excited for this live. I would say don't worry about taking notes. Just try to just focus on the information because you can just watch the replay. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me give these dogs some treats really quick because they won't leave me alone if I do. Okay, Engdu, here, take this and poof be gone. Poof be gone. Okay. Thank you. Okay, sorry. She was like, please give me something. Okay, and so anyways, I am so excited about this live. This actually is going to be a live that is going to cover a lot of strategy. And don't worry about, like I said, taking notes because you can watch the replay. So if you are joining me live, hi Brenda Lee, say hi. I would love to know who's here. Also, if you are joining me live, don't be afraid to ask questions. This would honestly be the most opportune time for you to ask questions. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag IGA, so I know that you're watching the replay. Okay, so I'm really excited. Today's strategy, let me stay focused on my notes because the Lord, I drank way too much coffee today, so I need to stay focused. So today's strategy is the send me the link strategy. And it is literally a real thing. I know that sometimes we don't like a lot of these sayings, like we make money in our sleep, or, you know, we have a bunch of people in our DMs that are literally asking to send the link, but it is a real thing. Okay. Like once you experience it, you're like, okay, this really is a real thing. And so the send the link strategy is basically when your business and your brand and your content does the selling for you, that you have people in the DMs asking you, how can they pay? And that's a really beautiful feeling. It is a testament to how much success that you have in terms of the strategies that you've been using, right? It's confirmation. It's a beautiful gift. And so, Faela, you have to tell me if I'm saying your name wrong, right? Like, please put the enunciation so I can make sure I say your name properly. But hi, good to see you. So first and foremost, before I get started, I want to just say thank you to God, thank you to Holy Spirit, and thank you to Jesus, because honestly, everything that I have right now, to the depth of what I have, the business, the community, my family, my spirit, my soul, my Yafa, and just everything that I have is really because when I gave my business over to God, when I truly met Jesus and found him in my heart, and when I truly embraced the Holy Spirit, because the business that I had before, a lot of it felt and really was empty. And so this time I'm actually doing business how I imagined it to feel. The purpose, the fulfillment, the inspiration, the drive, the ideas, Fiella. Okay, yeah, girl, because that's not what I had said. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. So I just want to first give the glory to my Trinity, because without them, I would not be in this position. And also just the testament of constantly seeking God's will for my life and the path that he has for me, and constantly looking for that. He is the one that has guided me to the trainings, to the videos, to the things I needed to learn, putting the things in my head to show me how I can step in my power. Because the one thing that I didn't want, which I don't also want you to have, for me, is I never wanted to rely on someone for my answers. I never wanted it to be like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this program or if I don't learn from this person, that I'm not going to have the answer, because I go to the one that has all the answers, and he will tell me what program I need to take, what information I need to learn, all of those things. So I wanted to make sure that my navigation came from God. And so I also create environments where you don't rely on me for the answers. You are able to, I am able to give you information, but you're able to navigate your own internal compass and find the answers for yourself, okay? So that is the starting point. So let's actually get into the send the link strategy. And I want to preface it by, we're going to get into the actual sales strategy that I've been using lately, but I want to preface it with the foundation, okay? Because I don't want to just tell you the strategy and then you are like, why isn't this working, if you don't really have the foundation. So the first part of the foundation, which I think is important, is branding, okay? A lot of us are building businesses and kind of just, get the name for our business, kind of throw things up and then like put our offers up and we're making and try to make sales, right? Especially if you have an offer that isn't super, super unique. You are the one that makes your offer unique, but in general, if your offer isn't unique, if there's a lot of people already in that space serving that need, then this is why a brand is so important, because a brand is what's going to stand out, and a brand is what is going to help you will help you be bookmarked in someone's brain. Just like there are brands and there are things that are bookmarked in your brain, that is what a brand is going to do for you. I'm not going to go into the branding and all of these details. I'm just literally giving you the foundation so that you will understand what actually makes the sales work. So branding encompasses, for me, in a quick summary, a few things. The first thing is your value system. What are your values and how do you express that through your business and your content and your messaging and all of these things, right? The next thing, which what most of us think branding is the imagery. So that's your fonts, your colors, your graphics, like kind of just the way that everything looks. And then lastly is your messaging, how you speak, your tone of voice, and those things. So if you do have a business and you want longevity from it, I do recommend spending some time in your branding and just kind of going through those general pieces so that you're always consistent in your values, you're always consistent in your visuals, and you're always consistent in your messaging. This is going to really help establish that know, like, trust on a deeper subconscious level. Okay. The next thing is that we have to have strategy. Like, sorry, I just sometimes go into these biblical rants. I mean, how did Noah build the ark? God gave him a strategy. How did they build the tabernacle? God gave him a strategy. How did Solomon build the temple? How did David get the plans to give to Solomon? Strategy, okay? A wise person plans. A fool fails to plan. So strategy is literally a truth, a byproduct of what God says that you should do. So a lot of us are running our businesses and we're doing this so willy-nilly and wondering why things aren't working. You have to have a strategy, okay? Especially if you were in this for the long term. So one of my strategies, the first thing is my ability to sell as a leader, okay? I know that so many people are like, well, how do I not feel salesy? How do I not need to beg or chase or, because I need the sale, like I need to make money, like I need to pay my bills. These are all real life things. But you have to learn how to step into your leadership role by equipping yourself with information, okay? When you have information, it gives you clarity, it gives you confidence, and then it allows you to feel certain. So no matter what is happening, if your bank account is a certain way, if you need to make money or you need to get sales, whatever it is, when you are armed with information, then you feel confident that you have done all it is that you can do. Most of the time, the reason why we feel like, again, that icky energy around sales is that you don't really know what you're doing. So yeah, of course, anything that you don't really understand, like you're going to feel apprehensive. You're going to feel weird about it. You're not going to feel confident. So to be able to step into your leadership role is learning everything about your buyer and learning everything about your offer and how those two marry together. So that when you understand who it is that you're speaking to, when you understand the depths of your offer, not just like I talked about this before, not just in your head. You can't just like know it in your head and assume that everyone else is going to understand. Like you have to be able to articulate your offer in sales and marketing language. If you cannot, this is why you feel icky. This is why you are trying to convince or force someone to buy, or, try to persuade them because you're like, I don't really know, how to sell this, right? So this is how, when you are so equipped with information, how the only job that you can control and the only thing that you can do is to empower your buyer with all the information that they need to know to make an informed decision to buy. That's all you can do. And so when you know you've done that well, then you don't feel weird. You don't feel icky, right? Like when you know something like the back of your hand, like, do you feel weird selling it? Or do you feel weird talking about it? No. Like, you're going to talk about it till the cows come home because you're like, oh my gosh, this lights me up. So in order to actually have that, you have to know your buyer to the in-depth detail of what part of their life you are serving and your offer. Okay. And then you have to adjust your mindset around sales timing. That's so key and so important, because a lot of us feel like if we've done this campaign, or we talk to this person in the DMs and they don't end up buying, we make it mean something about us, and it has nothing to do with us most of the time. Most of the time, it could be like you just didn't really do a good job explaining things, but majority of the time, if you have done everything that you possibly can in the sales strategy to empower and inform, then it really comes down to sales timing. Maybe they don't have the money right now. Maybe they just bought something similar. Maybe they are waiting until like a certain moment so that they can actually get it, right? That's nothing that you can control. Like, you've done your job. And when you get down to sales timing, like that's amazing. Like, if someone is like confused about your offer, they're not sure if it's going to work for them, if they're worried about the price, then you know that there's adjustments that you can make in your strategy. But when the only objection that you have is not right now because of sales timing and those reasons I mentioned, then you know that you have done your job. So that allows you to be empowered to sell as a leader without making your results mean anything about your mindset, which will help you avoid feeling icky and salesy in the process, okay? So the next part of strategy, and let me know if this makes sense, right? Selling through leadership. Just drop a yes in the comments if this is making sense. So selling through community or strategy, the next part of the strategy is community. Community is absolutely so important. And it's something that a lot of people sort of misunderstand. They're just thinking more so about like, if I just get more followers, I'm going to make more sales. And that's not necessarily truly how it works. You want to actually build a community. I'm telling you, there's just too much noise out there. So if you are not taking up beautiful, precious real estate and bookmarking yourself in someone's brain because you're doing the right things, then they're just going to continue to pass you by. And yes, you may have a lot of followers, but you're not going to convert them outside of maybe even one sale. And if you do get a sale, they're probably not going to come back, right? So building a community is so important. And so it is about strategically connecting with the community, actually being a human, right? What do I say that one of my most favorite, easiest sales strategy? It's just literally being a human, right? Just be a person, be a human. And that's, how you essentially build community, right? Actually caring about people, right? People do not care about how much you know until they know that you actually care about them, actually care about helping them and solving their problem, right? So community is a strategic thing that yes, you can build. And when you build that and you establish that genuine trust, I'm telling you, the benefits are so far reaching. It's the type of strategy that you may not see the fruits of right now, but I promise you, like, you are looking at people that are like, oh my gosh, like, are they making all this money and and like, why is their community so loyal? Because they started it from the very beginning. Because when you care about someone in your community and you're actually there to serve them and help them, and then they go into your offer, they get the transformation, the whole experience is so beautiful. Guess what? They're your best friends. They're your biggest advocate. They're going to buy everything that you make, and they're going to tell all their friends about it. So then the algorithms are going to go get to talking, and that's just going to spread your content like wildfire. And everyone just is wondering, well, how do I get to that point where that happens? It starts with one. It starts with the very first person that comes into your world. And I think that we don't give ourselves a lot of context about our audience on social media. Like, in this Facebook group, there's literally 8,700 people. I may not see 8,700 people all at once, but the fact that 8,700 people have made a choice to be inside this community, that's crazy. Because just imagine if you were standing in front of an audience of 8,700 people. And sometimes some of my posts get seen by thousands of people. And I'm like, that's you standing with a mic in the center stage and thousands of people are surrounding you. Like, don't think we grasp the concept of that power. So community is really important. The next thing before we get into the sales strategy, I'm still kind of covering a lot of the foundation, is that I really love to create customer journey content. So I have a lot of different content strategies that I use to help convert sales. But one of the biggest things is I use customer journey content, taking someone from where they are to where they want to be. And throughout that journey, I am handling all the objections that someone may face along that journey in my content. So when someone is done consuming like 9 pieces of my content, they are mentally going through that journey within themselves. And it's so crazy because then like an objection will pop up, but then guess what? I'm already crushing it in the content. This is one of the major keys to getting your content to convert and to sell for you. Okay, so I'm very strategic with that in my content strategy. I post and do kind of whatever I want, but whatever I am posting and doing follows that guideline. And also, here's another thing I feel like a lot of us make a big mistake, is that we have an offer, we have a product, we have something that helps someone achieve a transformation. More than likely, especially if you are a coach or a course creator, you were once in a position and now you are at your success, your transformation, and now you're helping people who were once where you were get to, that transformation, right? But oftentimes we only speak to the success, the desire, the transformation. We forget that we have to put ourselves and our content in the shoes of where someone was when they first got started. We're only speaking to like where we are now and trying to pull them into this dream and desire, but they can't get over the first hump of like where they were. So if you speak to that part, right, because you were once there, and you guide them through the customer journey, then logically it's going to make sense, because that's where they're going to feel seen, heard, and understood, because they're like, oh, it's she, he or she's not just at the mountaintop, like she's talking about the valley, and like, oh my gosh, I'm in the valley too, like she totally gets it, like I can totally relate to them, like, oh my gosh, this makes sense. And then you're moving them along the journey, which gives them the confidence, right? It empowers them with information. It transfers that certainty you have over to them that you are the answer that they have been looking for. So keep that in mind. The next part is the unique voice. So I don't know if you experience, and let me know in the comments if you experience this, where you're like, oh my gosh, like someone is saying all the things that I'm thinking, right? It's like, well, if you never say anything, then we're never going to know. So it's so important that when you do execute on your content strategy, that you are sharing it in your unique voice. You are sharing your thoughts around it, your perspective, because that's essentially what they're paying for. They're not paying for something that they can just look up and Google, right? So like when you hear me talk about the customer journey, you hear my experience and my perspective around it versus, the technical experience around customer journey, which is like they start from here, awareness, consideration, and conversion, right? Like I do include that in some of my methodology and strategy, but that's not how I look at it. I look at it as where someone is, where they want to be, the different stories, the different milestones, the different touch points. So when you are sharing your unique voice in your content, that is what they are coming to hear. That is what is activating them. That is what is empowering them. Not something that they can Google and not something that they can look up on YouTube. Okay? And that is often why we feel stifled with our voice. We feel stifled in our content, and why our content isn't hitting and transforming and empowering and activating our audiences, because we're not sharing anything new. They've come to you for your perspective. They've come to you for your outlook, your take on this new feature that Instagram has dropped, your take on how to lose weight, your take on how to manifest their dreams, your perspective on it, your story, right? This is how you share your story without making it about you. So there's that, okay? The next thing is your offers, your actual offer suite, and what you are actually helping people to achieve. Now, if you have one offer, that is okay, because you want to focus on one thing, get one thing right before you start adding in the other pieces, okay? When it comes to your offer, if you have one, you need to be very clear with who you are speaking to and the specific part of the journey that they are in. Because in the grand scheme of the big transformation that you offer, that you support, your offer probably just supports one part of it. So when you can actually see like the different gaps in like, the journey that your customers are taking, you can create other offers to support that. So kind of what I mean by that is, for example, my one main signature offer is followers to sales. It's like all the things that someone can do to build an Instagram sales machine and turn their followers into paying customers. However, there is this beginner gap where they don't have an offer, right? So they need help with that. And then there is kind of the after the fact is like, okay, well, I have a whole bunch of offers. How do I build a multi-offer, automated machine? So in the beginning, I focused on one main offer, and this is what I wanted. And then as where I'm at now, I now include other things because I can see where I can support my customers along this journey. So if you do, though, have one offer, you have to speak to that specific part of the journey, right? I make it very clear, if you don't have an offer, followers to sales is not for you. If you're trying to do multiple offers, this is not for you, because I am speaking to one specific part. And I think that's why a lot of us have a hard time selling one thing, because we are not specifically speaking or positioning ourselves. Go look at my other live when I talk about niching, but we're not specifically positioning ourselves to where someone is actually at inside of their journey. It's not enough just to know their age, gender, demographic, they're a mom, they like yoga, they're into spirituality and things like that. It's like, there's a difference between someone who's just getting started or who's a little bit further along or who's extremely advanced looking to go to the next level. So you have to make sure you include that inside of your messaging, especially when you are selling one offer. Now, if you have a diverse offer suite, then that works better now that if you've gotten to that point, because then you are able to meet people at different price points, different levels and stages that they're on in the journey, right? And provide different experiences along the journey. I'm not going to go too much into offer suite creation, but that is kind of one of the reasons why, again, this whole live was created about why I have Send the Link vibes, because now I am in a position where I do have multiple offers that do cover multiple price points, that do cover multiple transformations, and that do support different levels of the overall transformation that I support, which is helping people create six-figure businesses. That is kind of why when I'm speaking now to a wider audience, they're like, oh, I'm here in this, at this stage, I'm here at that stage, and kind of why I'm getting a lot of send me the link vibes, okay? So here is my formula. This is my offer. This is my sales. I'm literally giving you an inside sneak peek. So anyone who is in followers to sales, you're kind of already going to get this. I have 2 more modules to drop. I have a masterclass module that I'm dropping in followers to sales. And I have a sales strategy, specific content sales strategy that I'm dropping in followers to sales, which will kind of go over a lot of all of this. So yeah, this is my unique specific messaging, which is literally so simple and not even rocket science. And mind you, I am doing majority of these sales in a Google Doc and a Canva site. So you really have no excuse to be like, well, the tech, I need a website, I need all these things. No, you don't really, you literally don't have any excuse. These are all being done inside of a Google Doc. So this is my formula that I use so that I am equipping my buyer with all the information that they need to know about my offer. And I'm also covering emotion to logic, right? We are emotion-based buyers with logic, and I'm also transferring certainty to them, okay? So first I have the offer description. So that's pretty straightforward. This usually is just talking about the problem that they have and the transformation and how the offer is going to help them solve that problem and get them a transformation. Straightforward, okay? And this usually covers maybe a paragraph or 2, and usually covers emotions and logic. So I'm meeting both of those needs. I'm speaking both of those languages. And then I have what you'll learn. What you'll learn, or what is this for kind of vibe, is basically a section where we do features to benefits. So if you are not familiar with that, it's basically you take a feature and you explain the benefit. So it's you get this, or you're going to learn this so you can do this, right? Because they need to know why. Again, it's not self-explanatory. Then the next thing is my 2 qualifying questions. This is for you if you are, right? So this is going to help me qualify my niche to make sure the right people, I don't want every sale. I want the right people in the right programs, because then they're going to actually get to success because it's designed for them. And then what you need. So my second one is my niche qualifying question that empowers them. So if they don't have all the tools that they need to join the program, then the what you'll need section is going to tell them what they need to have in order to actually be a part of that offer. And then the next thing is what's included. That is pretty straightforward. This is for the logic-based buyer, and that basically is just going to cover all the features. Like what is it that you get, you know? And then the last thing is the investment. And at this point, the price becomes a no-brainer because you've covered emotions to logic. You've talked about the benefits, what's in it for them. You've qualified it, right? So you spoke to the actual ideal person who it's for, right? And you've talked about the problem and how your offer is a solution. That is the tiny formula that I use for my sales pages, for my emails, for my captions, for my scripts, for my content. And it is literally a one fell swoop to answer all of those questions that your buyer may have about what it is you're offering, and helps you do it in a very clear, concise, simple, and short way. Short and straight to the point, yet giving them everything that they need. And this is ultimately how I transfer certainty. When someone reads those statements, because they are so spot on, which let me rewind it. The reason why I also have such clarity in the words that I choose and the words that I'm using inside of a lot of my scripts is because I do surveys. So I have a real life example. And let me know in the comments, drop a yes in the comments if you love surveys, because surveys are amazing. So prior to this live, I sent out a survey for a new program that I am creating, and lo and behold, all the people filled it out. And guess what? Not only was I already going to cover a lot of those topics, I learned about some different topics that they wanted to cover. But most importantly, I learned the way in which they talk about those topics. So what's going to happen is that not only am I going to speak that language in my sales copy to it when I go to promote it, I'm also going to speak that language inside of my program to also trigger that inside of their mind and relate to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is it. So I love using buyer surveys because not only does it help you actually create offers that people want, it helps you, like they're literally telling you how to sell it to them. Okay. So I use my buyer surveys and then I plug it into that formula that I just told you about. And that is how I make these effortless sales. That is how when someone reads it, they're like, oh my gosh, she's speaking to me. And that is why people are in my DMs and they're like, send me the link. And that is why this is why I make such easy sales. Mind you, this is my organic sales process. This doesn't include what happens when I collect all that traffic and then I go and I turn on ads. I still have not turned on my ads again. I have a friend who is like an expert at ads. Like they do tens of millions of dollars a year. And he's like, whenever you are ready, like you have built such amazing organic traffic, because ads are literally just traffic. If you're sending ads to a broken funnel, a broken strategy, like it's not going to convert, and you're going to be wasting money. Like, of course, like you get volume. So maybe some sales will come through, but not like you want to. And so I have done I organically do all the legwork and test and convert and validate my funnel so that when I go and turn on paid ads, I'm literally printing money. This is the process. This is the workflow that helps you to do that, right? Organically, so that you are feeding the machine, especially with all of the iOS changes and all the changes to ads. You want to make sure you have done everything that you can organically. So all you're asking the ads to do and your ad expert to do is amplify what you've already done. Okay. So I'm like, guys, this is insane. So that is it. This is how I transfer certainty. This is how I sell and help people feel empowered and confident and informed that my offer is the best decision for them to help them solve their problem. Most importantly, it gives me a peace of mind back. Like I have done all I can do. I have done everything that I know how to. So I leave it up to sales timing. I leave it up to making sure that there's more and more people that are pipelining into my funnel so that every day someone is reaching a point where they are ready to buy. So again, people buy certainty. Certainty is what causes us to create and make decisions. Okay. So that is what you want to transfer by equipping yourself with enough information, the right information, the strategic information to help someone feel empowered to make a decision. All right. So this is how I create the send the link vibes. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I'm super excited. If all of these things I do teach inside either one-on-one or followers to sales. Again, if you are already in followers to sales, you will be getting this module inside the content module, the content selling module. That'll just be coming soon whenever I get to it. I'm currently working on the masterclass module, so I'm doing that first. And if you want to take it a step further and you're like, I just really need your help. I need your help with messaging. I need your help with this strategy. I need your help knowing my buyer. I need your help with my offer persona. I want to learn storytelling marketing. I want to have an automated sales funnel too. I want an automated sales machine. If you want help, then drop the number 2023 inside of the comments, and I will send you the link to my offer suite so you can see the different offers that I have and see which one works for you based on where you are at in your journey. I also have single sessions. So if you're like, I don't see anything that really helps me specifically with what I need, then you can book a single session, and that way we can have a one-on-one. You can ask me a bunch of questions and I will, work with you and answer them. And before your single session, usually I ask you to give me everything that you want me to know before the call, so that we're not wasting any of the call doing discovery, and that your call is really just for the answers and implementation. And also, I wanted to throw this out there. This is something like, I'm going to date this, but this is something I'm only going to do for a little bit as I am stepping more into this coaching world and learning what people want. If we are a good fit and I actually can help you with your brand and the thing that you need help with, I am open to creating custom one-on-one offers. So if you see something on the offer suite that like nothing kind of fits you, but I've talked about something, you're like, well, can you go more in depth with that topic with me specifically? And like I said, we are a good fit, then I am open to creating one-on-one custom offers. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, then we can talk about that and see what we can come up with. So as long as, like I said, those conditions are met. In my offer suite, I have so many different things: one-on-one, self-study. If you're like, just give me all the information, like I'm ready to go at my own pace, I just want it all. I will have live group masterminds, a story selling mastermind in the top of 2023. So if that's something that you want to learn how to sell through stories, then that's going to be a live group mastermind. And all price points, all different stages of the journey, and everything covers a combination of mindset and strategy. Okay, so that is it, guys. I'm just literally so excited. I just give all the glory to God. I'm just so thankful. I just always pray to God. I'm like, God, I want to just know in my heart and my mind, and I want to know without a doubt that I know how to sell, that I know how to grow a brand, like all these different things. I just want to know that if this is the formula, this is what you do. And when you do this and when you repeat this process, no matter what strategy that it's under, it's going to work. And I'm just so grateful for God's goodness and his hand just always being on me. Because I can't tell you the sales that have been flowing in the last, since I posted this offer, and the DMs that I'm getting, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't even have to do anything for this. Like, all of this is just a testimony to what I've been building. And just my path that I've been following with God. And so I just literally can't wait till he just puts the yes on so many things that I have just been waiting to activate, because then, life will definitely change dramatically on a physical sense. So that is it. I'm so excited. I've been so excited to share this with you. I'm going to go work out because I have way too much energy that needs to get out before I sit down and do this masterclass, or else I'm going to be shaking my leg the whole time. So that is it. Happy Tuesday. I hope this has been so helpful for you. This replay will be in the guide section so that you can take notes on it. I may save this to YouTube as well, so you can watch it there too. So that is it. I will see you guys tomorrow.